Hey, Mom, welcome to chapter 3.
Yay.
I'm trying so hard with the energy today, but I am coming off of a really awesome vacation and sick little kids getting us sick. Love them, but if I don't have bronchitis, I swear to God, that would be a surprise to me because of the amount of coughing I have been doing.
Yeah.
So, hopefully the next couple chapters you'll be like, "Wow, Katie looks like a whole different person," because I feel better. I'm
You
trying.
look fine, dear. You're just fine.
Yeah, if you didn't see like the rest of my life right now, like I said to you before, like behind me looks so nice and clean, but if you saw behind the screen and like next to me, whoo, you would be
Yeah.
like, "What is this
Mine isn't
disaster?"
looking so good either, and I wasn't just on vacation, so.
It's no joke. Okay,
All
so
right.
to recap, if you just jumped in and saw this video randomly, I'm Katie. This is my mom, Lynn. We wrote a book together. We're awesome. Yay, us. Now, we are diving into every single chapter. We are having a great time with it. We are asking each other questions that dive deeper into each chapter of the book, not only here on YouTube, but also on my podcast, the Different Ability Podcast. So, all the links, everything will be below in the description. Let's get it started.
All right. Katie, you know that you were pretty quiet in school before you were diagnosed. You were the timid, shy child, and you absolutely were. But you were a great student. You did everything you were supposed to do. What would you say to a teacher who has a quiet student that does get good grades, but the teacher might suspect something is not quite right?
Uh, dive deeper. Try to find out, like talk to them. I feel like I'm no elementary school teacher, and I'm not even going to pretend to be because that is elementary school, middle school, and high school teachers. That is something I will never have an opportunity to understand. And I'm not even going to pretend to because it is one of the most thankless jobs next to like nursing and a bunch of other stuff like that. But it's really hard.
Yes, it is.
I taught in college level. That's a whole different ball game. So I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to pretend. But I want to make it very clear. Yes, I was very quiet before diagnosis. Yes, I was very shy, but there were in my mind, because I lived it, signs of things. Now, when the one teacher says, Katie does really good. She's a really good student. She's like behaves really well, all the things. She has to work a little harder than everyone else, but she's doing great. That part, she has to work a little harder than everyone else.
Right,
Why?
right.
And I'm not saying every kid should be this perfect all the time.
No.
Like again, thankfully I have taught before and I watch students. I'm a very like intuitive. I pay attention to people's energies and like the way that they act in class or if they're not looking at me or
Right.
whatever. When a teacher would say, "Hey, raise your hand on who wants to read next," and I would literally almost crawl under the desk,
Yeah.
praying that they wouldn't call on me, fidgeting in my seat, being uncomfortable, not making eye contact, being scared, again, not even speaking up at
Ugh.
all.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like ding, ding, ding. Whether that's something this kid has dyslexia, or it's just something else going on in their home, or
Yeah.
something else going on in their life. Again, being a teacher is a thankless, very, very difficult, demanding job. Not saying it's not. It definitely is. There's so many amazing teachers out there, and I've ran into only amazing ones, except maybe one. We're not going to name.
We won't go any
But
further.
there's always a little dud in there, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You always have to have a negative one. But now, 99% of the teachers that are out in the world that are listening to this that want to be there, you want to be there because you care about kids. My
Right.
only suggestion is maybe talk to them. Maybe talk to their parents. I'm flipping that script, Mom. You and I have talked about how you as a parent should have talked to the teachers, go
Right.
deeper. And I'm not saying should have like, oh, you're bad. This is the things we talked about in the last couple
Exactly.
chapters.
Exactly. Yep.
Like you wish you would have, blah, blah, blah. All the things. Hindsight's 2020. But let's flip the script. It's not all about the grades, and it's
Right.
not all about how they act in school. Because if they're quiet, shy, but really good kid and they don't cause any trouble, doesn't mean that there's not something else going on.
Right.
So,
Right.
as a teacher, maybe make some notes. And I know these days teachers can do texting and email and all that stuff. It's not just a
Sure.
parent-teacher conference. But please, if you see a student and you're wondering, ask the parent or the guardian.
Hmm.
Talk to them. Talk to other teachers and
Right.
say, are you seeing this in your classroom? Or, you just never know.
Right.
That could really help that child out. I love the way my story is, and I can say that now because I'm past the
Right. Right.
really, really hard stuff. But I'm really grateful for my story because it will help people. Because I did struggle for kindergarten, first, second, third, and fourth grade. That's a long time. And there are
Right.
people that struggle way longer than that.
I do have one addition for this, though, Katie. I think it even goes back to educating educators because I was amazed at how surprised your teachers were when they found out you were dyslexic and didn't know really anything about it. They said, "Well, do you have information? Do you have this? Do you have that?" And I mean, I gave them everything that the clinic, your doctor had given them. And sadly, I think that's still the case. I mean, I think people know
It
this
can be, yeah.
happens, but I don't think there's enough taught about what kinds of clues you could be looking for in children that may struggle. I don't think the teachers are taught that as well. I don't know that a lot of time is put into that.
There could be so much more. That's what we're going to say.
Yes,
There could be
yes,
so much more. And it's not just about dyslexia, it's about all different
absolutely.
neurodiversities. But
Especially when this is a hidden disability, Katie, that your
yeah,
disability doesn't show on your face
yep.
or your body. It is a hidden disability.
Yep, my invisible disability,
Yeah.
100%. And that's again, this is not to be like poo-poo on the teachers. It is like
Ooh.
let's invest in our education systems, let's
Yeah.
invest in our teachers, let's invest in education. Like there's an idea, like let's not take away from it. Let's invest in it and help people. And this even goes to the college level. Like what are we teaching? And again, I don't know all these answers, so I'm not going to pretend that
Right.
I do know, and neither do you, mom. So like
Right.
there could be teachers listening to this being like, well, I did all this stuff. I'm so happy you did, if you're that
Yes.
teacher.
Yeah.
But there are many people that are still out there, and especially 26 years ago, things have come a long way. But
Absolutely.
I feel like there's more, I know there's more that we can continue to do.
Yeah.
So we can keep helping in the education system, outside of the education system, to help people and different things. But yes, it's trying to keep learning and I just don't want anyone to think like we're sitting here being like, do more
No.
school, do
No.
more incentive days, whatever the teacher days, you have to learn more. And for sure, yeah, let's do those, of course, but not to put more on teachers because like the job itself is hard enough. Like,
Right.
but
Right.
being able to just have like little tips and tricks or school systems utilize the resources of special
Resources. Yeah.
education of the teachers that have went to school for this and
Yeah.
are really versed in this. And I'm not talking, I'm gonna get on my high horse real quick. I'm not talking administration like, oh, I've done this, or oh, I'm the director of special. I don't give a crap if you're the director of special education. I want to talk to the teachers that are in the classrooms that are helping the students,
Right.
the ones
Right.
that actually physically go in and learn and know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting a little feisty about this, but I'm not
No.
saying every single administrator is bad. I'm not saying that. But
No.
there's that disconnect. You're not there with them. You're
Right.
not there helping the kids.
You have to be
Talk.
doing the work in order to understand what these kids are going through.
Yes, and but here's the other thing. You don't if you want to be an administrator, that's great and all. But
Yeah.
reach out and connect with your freaking teachers that are doing amazing work and amazing things in the school system with the kids every single day. Don't just sit at your desk leaning back saying, but this is how it's gonna go. No, don't have time for that. Okay. Talk to the people that work with the students. Oh, I don't know, the teachers. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm off my soapbox
Okay. Can we move on to the next
for
question?
now. We'll see. We'll see
Okay.
what the next question is.
Okay. Well, this one is different, but I can still see this day as well. You have such a vivid memory of when you went to the clinic and were diagnosed. Why do you think that moment stuck with you so strongly?
I'm dyslexic. That's why. No, I've learned over the years that me being dyslexic gives me this awesome superpower in my brain to be able to visualize and see things when it's happening, but even before it's happened. So, Mom, I haven't even really talked to you about this, but we just went on vacation and we took my niece and nephew, your grandkids,
Yes.
and like the cool part about my brain is okay, we were looking at land because we want to buy land. And there was this one there was a couple different properties, but I already saw what the home was going to be like on the property. I already saw
Yeah.
what I wanted to design. And I could walk through and see a window here overlooking this mountain view. And then there's going to be a window here out of the bedroom that would go out this mountain view. And I already
Yeah.
saw it before I even drew it, before I even designed the house. And walking through, even though my niece, when we were walking through the property, she was picking up little things like, look at all the pine cones. Gager will love this
Oh,
place.
yeah.
And she was so excited for Gage and the pine
Oh,
cones.
yeah.
But like, I was walking through, I'm like, oh, there could be a trail here, the driveway would be here. And my husband is
Yeah.
also very visual like that, thankfully, because he's a contractor, because you kind of have to be when you're a contractor. So he kind of saw different things. He doesn't see it as like vividly like me, like where I'm like, there's gonna be a handle right here for this door, and then it's gonna open. He's like,
Yeah.
draw it for me and I'll build it, okay? Like
Yeah,
he's like,
exactly.
draw it and I'll build it. But I'll be like, I'll be laying in bed and I can see this view and it's gonna be great. And he's like, draw it and I'll build it.
Yeah.
So, but that is what's so exciting. So like me vividly seeing and knowing I can still close my eyes and walk myself
Yeah.
through that entire hallway. I
Yeah.
can still sit myself down in that itchy chair on my
Yeah.
legs and the wood arms that were beaten up.
Yeah.
And I can still see that little tiny desk off the side. And like the doctor was super tall, but
Very tall.
everyone
Yeah.
was super tall to me. So that's great to know that you think he's very tall because
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
me, it
but
was
the ceilings were also very short in that area too. So
a
he
hundred
probably,
percent.
yeah.
But like you're very tall. I was
Yeah.
little, obviously. So it's just that's something I'm really grateful for being. There's so many things I'm
Yeah.
grateful for being dyslexic, having dyslexia, having this different brain. But like that one is like my favorite part because like I have all these, it's annoying as well.
Yeah.
Let's make it very clear. But I have all these things in my head going on all the time and vividly seeing this or like, oh, it's just the best. It is the best. So
That's
why do
wonderful.
I think that moment stuck with me so strongly is because like that's how my brain works. Like
Yeah.
I will never forget. There's a lot of things. Like I even remember, Mom, us walking through Disney World and that guy sitting on the bench. I remember walking through and how we were all lined up and he's saying, "You guys are from Wisconsin?" And we all kind of looked at him because we were just talking.
You remember
Yes.
that?
And this guy sitting there and I remember seeing him there. I don't remember exactly what he looked like, but Dad turning and he did not have his embarrassing Wisconsin shirt on. So and we kind of looked at him and said, "What?" He goes, "I can tell by your accents, Midwest Wisconsin, right?" And we're like,
Oh, jeez.
"Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember getting the Dippin' Dots the first time
Yeah.
and
I do
seeing,
remember that. Yeah.
visually seeing the Dippin'
Yeah.
Dots and being like,
Yeah. And the
space?
hummingbirds flying around. I remember
Don't
those.
remember that, but the
Yeah.
space ice cream?
Yeah.
What?"
Yeah.
So, like, I remember seeing the mountains. I will tell this story real quick. We went to Colorado, you, Dad, my sister, Krista, my grandma and grandpa, and me, back in what? Middle school? High
Yeah.
school, maybe?
No, it wasn't high. Well, if it was high school, it was very early high school.
For me,
It
okay.
would be freshman. Yeah.
Yeah, the way I was dressing, who freaking knows? I'm an embarrassment. But so, anyways, we went out to see my grandpa's brother and just to visit, and we traveled by car out there. And crazy enough, okay, so this is what's so awesome. Now, I'm going back and forth. I'm sorry. My brain is all over squirrel. Okay, so we go out and see other things. We were down by Avon, Colorado. We went to Vail. We went to all these different places.
Yeah.
Now, back then, I don't specifically remember like a view. I remember how much I loved Colorado.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward to when my husband and I went out for the first time for him, going out to Colorado, and we were trying to find a place to get married, where we wanted to get married. This was the last place we decided to go. I said, let's go to Vail. Let's go to the top of the mountain. So we went to the top of the mountain on the one side. I was like, meh, don't love it. We almost didn't go, but we went over to the other side of Vail and got on the gondola, paid 50 freaking, well, we already had paid $50 each for this
Yeah.
gondola thing. So I'm like, let's just go hit every gondola possible because this
Yeah.
was expensive. So we're like, well, we have time. Let's just go up to the other one. I will never forget walking off that gondola, walking out and seeing the views and
Yeah.
utter chills through my entire body because it brought me back to when we all stood up there on that same exact
Yeah.
spot with my grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
And my grandma has, in the last 5 years, has passed, so she's no longer with us here. And I
Yeah.
remember sitting there and I turned and looked at my husband, and he had never been there before. And he turned and looked at me and said, "Oh, we have to get married here." And I
Oh.
was like, but I remembered being a kid there.
Yeah.
And again, it's changed and it's different, but that one spot where you look off and it looks
Yeah.
like the hills are alive with the sound of music,
Yeah.
that's the spot. All those visions started coming back in my head.
Yeah.
Remembering going up on the gondola and grandpa swinging it and mom screaming
Yes.
at him and like, don't freaking move. And she was so mad. And like that happened how many times? We went on many gondolas on that trip, but like all the things, I remembered that spot going up there. Whether we did we? I hope we did because this is
Oh, I'm
bad.
sure we did. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know we were in Vail. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we went up and did that whole
Yeah.
hills and alive the sun. I'll put a picture in here so you can see of what I'm talking about in this video. You're going to see it right now. This is the view that I walked up into, and I remembered that from when I was a kid. And I knew, and we did get married there. So,
Yeah. Yes, you
yeah.
did.
Anyways, again, dyslexic brains are the best. Like like it is just like a movie theater in here all the time.
Oh,
So,
Lordy.
it's awesome. But well, Mom, thanks for jumping on for chapter 3. Let's
Heck
check
yeah.
out chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
See
See
you
you there.
then. Sorry. Side note, we'll use this as bloopers. I just looked outside. I thought that there was a bear, like a small bear. It was Gage. I didn't know he was out, and it scared the crap out of me. I was like,
Oh no.
and because like the hay is so high still, I was like, is that a bear?
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
anyways, whew.